Hi everyone, my name's Karam Hayre and I work within the Corporate Communications and Engagement team at HM Registry. So what is land registration? The day-to-day involves creating a reliable record of information about the ownership of land. Anyone buying or selling a property or a piece of land or taking out a mortgage must send us an application to register that interest and we update our records. This data provides security and safeguarding of property ownership across England and Wales. Our ambition? To become the world leading land registry for speed, simplicity, and an open approach to data. Our mission, should you choose to accept it, are your land and property rights guaranteed and protected. The civil service comprises 46 departments. HM Land Registry is one of them, and we serve to deliver public services and support the government to develop and implement its policies and many of the day-to-day operations of the UK. Some other examples include the Cabinet Office, the Ministry for Housing, Communities and Local Government, the Departments for Education and Transport, as well as MI5, just to name a few. For further information on this, please see some of the other like to be profiles for other civil service departments and also the interview that I did with Charlie. So, a typical day for me. In the corporate communications team, my day typically starts with some emails, always, and a number of forward planning meetings to help identify our team priorities for the weeks and months ahead. And this could involve working with various parts of the business to create information pieces which we provide editorial support with. This could be working with employee networks, professional learning and development teams, or health and wellbeing committees, or our senior leaders. We create strategic communication campaigns with impact and substance to support our customers, our people, and distribute messages from our senior leaders. We communicate the critical needs of the business and drive positive behaviour change where we can. I like to think of communications as the bridges that connect people from boardroom to shop floor and everywhere else in between. We also amplify the employee voice, which are stories from our people to raise awareness on issues that are important to them and that they know a bit about, from social equality, bereavement, and mental health, just to name a few. During COVID-19, I have been involved in preparing and hosting a series of virtual Q&A sessions in every office with our colleagues and some of our senior leaders to ensure that we can still feel connected as colleagues during these difficult times. What I love most about my role is that there are no 2 days the same, and as they say, variety is the spice of life. There are a number of different benefits to working in the civil service, and again, you can see some more information about this in my interview. But from a competitive salary and a civil service pension through to flexible working patterns and a generous amount of annual leave, a number of staff networks that we can become involved with, career progression schemes such as the Future Leaders Academy and other talent management programs, mentoring, apprenticeships, summer internships, lots of different courses and employee assistance to manage stress and mental health, and the ability to apply for a number of other roles in civil service departments if you have the relevant skills and experience and are successful in applying. Once you're in the civil service, you can navigate your way to any other department if you can. So, what's it like to work here? From handling and creating communications through to policy development, operational delivery, or managing data, there's a role for everybody to fit the civil service. I found HM Land Registry quite enjoyable. It's been a really cooperative working culture with lots of support, lots of interesting people, some meaningful work, and a range of different social events, which really makes us a great place to work. We're also committed to fairness and equality for all, so that you can feel valued for who you are and what you do, and what added value you bring to your team. Our inclusive culture supports the diversity of our people, and we actively encourage membership of our employee networks from the Age Network, LGBT, Disability, BAME, Women's, and Faith and Belief. So, how did I get here? When I look at it, I found that a journey towards meaning, fulfillment, and career development is a little bit like a patchwork quilt that we stitch together in retrospect, looking back in time. And to save myself sounding like Doctor Who, I'll go into what my story is and what that actually means. So I did pretty well in school. I studied hard, got a load of good grades, but was really uncertain on where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do. So I enrolled to study medicine at university to be a doctor. It seemed like a great a career choice for me, I was something I was interested in. It was great opportunities for travel. There was job security and lifelong learning. But I wasn't passionate enough about it, and to some degree was overwhelmed by the heavy demands of the course. And when you find yourself overworked and not fully invested in something, can become more of a slog rather than something that you're actively engaged in. So I decided to take a year, a stopgap, and a year out to figure myself out and kind of take some time to figure out where I wanted to go next. I found a role online for the land registry and operational casework, and this seemed like a great opportunity in which to develop some skills, earn some money, and go about that process of self-discovery. Whilst working at the Land Registry, I came across the Black, Asian, and Minority Ethnic BAME network, which supports BAME colleagues in the workplace and raises awareness of those issues affecting those communities and helps to bring changes to correct that. I reached out to get involved in the network because it was something I was interested in, and I had previous experience in working with charity and community groups in the diversity sector to celebrate culture and create community events. Um, by seeking out that interest, I was able to lead a campaign for Black History Month in 2018, which involved authoring a number of strategically planned blogs, events, and a poster campaign. This allowed me to develop my skills and knowledge in both communications and diversity and inclusion through active learning in high-profile projects. The opportunities presented to me whilst working at HM Land Registry allowed me to develop myself and my skill set so that I could not only successfully apply for a role in government communications, but also to become the external outreach lead for the Civil Service Race Forum and the Diversity and Inclusion co-lead for the Civil Service Network for Nature. In my role with the Race Forum, it's largely to connect with like-minded groups and charity groups to share a community of best practice, but also to find the most diverse talent of a school leaving and university ages to bring them into the civil service, as there is real power and a real need in diversity in decision making, as we can be reflective of the communities in which we serve. So to play a role in supporting that aim and those individuals is great. And in my role in the Civil Service Network for Nature, I am able to not only look at the diversity of our membership, but also help support a number of volunteering opportunities with our paid volunteering leave to connect civil servants with nature and developing nature, supporting nature, from habitat conservation and management through to invasive species management and a range of other different things. So, from sustainability through to social justice and a whole number of other different ways that you'd like to get involved and help change the future, there are things you can do all from a position in HM Land Registry. But when I speak about looking at things retrospectively and looking back in time, had I not recognised that I needed a break from medical school and taken up different extracurricular opportunities, both within work and outside of work, and put myself forward in showing an interest to support different parts of the business, I wouldn't have got to where I am today to be able to rekindle my passion for writing, understand and develop my passions for strategy, and ultimately being able to find some meaning for myself by providing something for other people and to be able to give something back. So, my top advice or top bits of tips: have a plan, whether it be a 1, 5, or a 10-year plan for every element of your life, from your relationships through to your family life, through to your mental and physical well-being, through to your career. Every element, but recognize that nothing's set in stone. I think for me in medical school, there was an idea that I would do 5 or 6 years of that, and then 2 years of foundation training, and then any number of years specialty training. And indeed, that's no longer the case. I'm now communicating on a government platform, so things change. Um, Nothing lasts forever, and change is the only constant. So, grab an opportunity while you can. Imagine looking back in time when you're 30 years old. Would you be proud of who you are, what you did? What would you be grateful for? What is it that you'd like to see between now and then? You're creating your personal brand, so bear that in mind. Recognize everyone's human and nobody has 100% anything figured out all of the time. So don't be afraid to put your mind to whatever you think you want to do. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. If other people have done it before, from the greats that you maybe your role models through to other individuals that have a role that you would like, there's no reason you can't give it a go. Be kind to yourself. Don't feel the pressure to have everything figured out right now. Life is a marathon, not a sprint. There are a few sprints thrown in, but having an attitude of gratitude will take you a long way. Aim for something and really give it a go. I think a ship, even with the best crew and captain, won't get anywhere if it doesn't have a course. So give something a go if you're interested in it. You'll be surprised what you'll learn and who you'll meet along the way. Just be sure to update your treasure map as you do. I'd say stack the bricks daily, and by that I mean do something every day that challenges you or pushes your comfort zone. It doesn't have to be something huge or monumental or earth-shattering, but something that enriches you in one way or another, whether it be reading a book about something you're interested in, whether it be reaching out to an old friend or family member to check in that they're okay, whether it be whatever it is that you're interested in, learning an instrument. If you stack a brick every day, you'll have a great wall in no time, and plot twist, you are the wall. My last tip would be just start. Even if you're not entirely sure, even if you start slowly, and even if you start badly, you have to risk being the fool in order to become the master. And whatever it is that you choose, it may not be destined to succeed and it may not truly work. as I found out with medical school. But if you never try, the only certainty is failure. So give it a go. What have you got to lose? Maybe it will be embarrassing. Maybe it ends up in a way you didn't plan. But better that than a lifetime of regret and wondering what if. So, without rambling on too long, I will leave it there. But if you would like to find out any more about HM Land Registry or about the Civil Service Race Forum or any of the other opportunities involved within the civil service, please do reach out to me through Like to Be and find us on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. But until then, thank you very much for your time. I wish you a brilliant day and I hope you have a great and prosperous career going forward. Cheers. Take care. All the best.